everybody, it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. And today, as you guys can tell from the title, I'm bringing you all another album review, one that I have promised that I would make. I'm very excited for this album review. As you guys can tell from the title, today I'm going to be reviewing Hot Mulligan's latest album, You'll Be Fine. This came out about a month ago, and I've been listening to it a lot since it came out. I'm a big fan. I've been listening to them for around like 2 years at this point, and I'm a really big fan. I've seen them much times. I love their debut full-length album, Opportunities, and then when Pilot came out in 2018, I was bopping to that. They released their first album in 2017, their second album in 2018, and then they obviously took a 2-year break and came out with this album. So I'm really excited to be reviewing it today because I've been bopping to it, and it's definitely a potential contender for making like my end of the year 2020 list. I know it's already like early, but still, I'm like thinking about it. So without further ado, I'm gonna share my thoughts on the album You'll Be Fine by Hot Mulligan. So going track by track, starting with the first track is called OG Blue Sky, which I'm guessing is a play off of the word like OG Blue Sky. It's not spelled that way. I'm assuming it's supposed to say blue. They always are known for like having funny song titles, long song titles, like random song titles that have nothing to do with the song, and they definitely do not stray away from that during this album, which I love. I feel like that's very them, you know? It starts the album out on a very like fast and jumpy note, and I really love the riff that opens the song and continues throughout it. I think it's definitely a very like positive start, like a solid start to the album. Following that is the second song, Equip Sunglasses, with little stars around them. This is the third and final single that they released for the album, and I love this song. I love Tade's screaming in the chorus. I think it's a very great hook that just like really catches your attention. It's another fast chorus. They're kind of known for having really fast, upbeat, jumpy choruses where Tade's just singing a lot of words at once and you have to kind of decipher it. And you know, they kept with that, and I like it. I think it works for them, and the song tells a story like many of their older songs do. I think this one definitely sounds more like their older stuff just because, like I said, it does tell a story. And a lot of their older songs, despite the weird song titles, really did tell stories, which I love. I love that kind of songwriting, and I really like this song because it does a lot of that. The third song is Feel Like Crab, the one that I'm sure if you know any song from this album, you probably know this one. This is the first single that came out for the album, and I forget exactly when it came out. I think, I didn't like listen to it initially when it came out, but I think definitely like maybe January, February, I think, maybe February. But it's a great choice for a first single because I think it showcases the sound of the album perfectly. Like, it gives you a perfect idea of what the album is like. It has a lot of like the main elements in the album in this one song, and I think it works really well as a first single. There is a bit of an abrupt transition to this song from Equip Sunglasses, so I don't know, maybe there was a better spot to put this song in the album, but I love the opening to this song. It's super catchy, it makes me smile, I love the beat, I just want to dance to this song, and it's one of my favorite songs on the album. Like, I think, like I said, it was a perfect first single. Everyone loved it when it came out. There were a lot of memes about it because it's called Feel Like Crab, and feel is spelled wrong, and it's definitely a play off of Feel Like Crab, obviously. I love the slow like pre-chorus where Taze is just talking, because then it gets really soft, but then it goes right back into that hard riff, and it's just such a catchy beat, so many catchy riffs to this song, and it makes me want to dance, and I love it. The fourth song is Green Squirrel in Pretty Bad Shape. Once again, another fun name. This seems to be like one of everybody's faves, at least on Twitter. Like, I've seen so many discussions about this song and how everybody loves this song, and they're like, this is just what we needed. This is like one of the best Hot Mulligan songs. This is my favorite off the album. Everybody loves this one. And it's definitely like the first slower song we see on the album so far. The title doesn't really have anything to do with the song. I mean, it doesn't mention a squirrel, but I do like the name of it. And it definitely seems more like a consolation song where, you know, like the band is saying sorry, Taze is asking for forgiveness. So it might be like, maybe that's why everyone likes it, because it's kind of more deep. I don't know, this wasn't like one that I would guess everyone would love, but people really like the song. The fifth song is Dirty Office Bongos. These names are just so great. This has a really good transition because of the slow opening, and I love the guitar riffs in the beginning. Like, it just makes me want to dance. This is a very dancey record, to be honest. Like, even for just being like kind of harder pop punk, I think it's very dancey. It sounds like an older Hot Mulligan song because I think it's very raw, and that raw sound, you know, comes out and reminds me of something from their first album opportunities. I feel like you'd hear this in like their really, really old stuff. So I like that you can still hear bits and pieces of kind of where they started and, you know, and how much they've matured. I think that's really cool. The 6th song is Analog Fade, parentheses, New Bull Sky. The blue sky, bull sky keeps coming back. But I love this is bringing back the blue sky reference. And this is a song that honestly sounds the least like a Hot Mulligan song. This does not sound like a Hot Mulligan song. The instrumentation, the vocals, like, I like it. I really like the song. But it doesn't sound like them at all, which I don't hate because I think it's really cool they're trying new things and they were still able to kind of go out of their comfort zone in this album and feel like they can try new things. You know, they're big enough now, they're like farther enough in their musical career where I don't think they feel like they have to fit into a box of their old stuff, which I really love, and I love when bands try new things. So it's not that I don't like this song, I just think that it really does not sound like Hot Mulligan. It's the slowest song on the album as well, which I think it's a good placement for that, you know, pretty much right in the middle of the record we hear this song, so I think it's definitely a good placement. The 5th song is We're Gonna Make It to Kilby. I love this song. It's another one of my favorites on the album, and it really caught my attention the first time I heard it because the intro is fantastic. Super catchy. It once again tells a story. I did play this one in my recent Quarantine Bops video that I made a few weeks ago, and you can see me dancing to it there, but it's a really, really great song. I almost feel like it low-key could have been a good opening song for the album because of the opening of the song. Like, I think it kind of works, but I'm not mad at the placement of it at all. I think it's a great song. Number 8 is Digging In. There's lots of screaming in this one. This is definitely one of the heavier songs. And this is also the song I really tend to forget about on the album. It kind of just goes over my head, both title-wise, but also just like I can never remember how this one goes. It comes on and I'm like, oh yeah, this song is a thing. Like, it's not what I think of on this record. I don't know why, it just kind of goes over my head. But I do love the verses because once again, they tell stories. And the fact that they are able to make so many songs about different stories, especially this album because the stories kind of go together, I think it's super cool. And I definitely have to applaud them for that. The 9th song is SPS, and I'm shocked this is not one of the singles because I love this song. It gives me like summer vibes, and it's not just because they mention summer in the pre-chorus, though like that does help, but also just the instrumentation, the way he's singing, it literally just reminds me of the summer, and I like truly do not know why this wasn't a single. I honestly feel like they could have subbed this in as the 3rd single for Equip Sunglasses because I don't know, it just sounds like it would be a single for this album. I really want to dance like on the beach with my friends to this song, like it gives me that kind of vibe. I also want to drive in the summer to this song. I think it would be a great summer song. Obviously, like they mentioned summer, but the instrumentation is there. And I think this is a very underrated song on the album. Like nobody's talking about it. And I'm like, this is definitely like one of the stronger bops on the record. And nobody's been tweeting about it, so I love this song and I will, you know, like vouch for this song because I think it's great. Number 10 is Backyard with all the vowels not there because we're edgy. This is the 2nd single that they released and it's a very catchy song. There's a super catchy hook at the beginning. I was actually able to see this song live when I saw them open up for Grayscale in February, I believe. And I didn't know that this had come out as a single, so they played it and I like thought it was an old song. I was like, oh, why do I not know this one? Is this like one from like a one-off EP? I just wasn't aware this was from the new album, but it's a great song and it was really cool to sing it live because everybody was just screaming the opening like, hey, in the backyard where the grass is green. You know, like everyone was just singing and it was a really cool thing to see live. It does sound like an old Hot Mulligan song, which is why that I thought it was. And I was pleasantly surprised that this is on the new record because I think this is a super strong song. It also seems very summery. It talks about the backyard, being outside. He's like the grass and spider webs, all that. I think that choosing to have this song follow SPS was a good idea because both these songs, like I said, seem to kind of embody summer. And the last song on the album is the song formerly known as Intro. That's the name of it, which I think it's very funny. The title cracks me up considering it's obviously the last song of the album and it was not the intro. But it makes me wonder if like that actually was the intro. I mean, it's short like an intro. It's under 2 minutes. So for me, it doesn't sound like it would be an intro because it seems like they're coming to a conclusion in this song. Based on the lyrics and the sounds, it builds from slow to screaming. There's a lot of instrumentation, but the lyrics make it sound like they came to a conclusion and understanding of the problems that they were facing throughout this album, which is why I think that it actually works better as an outro and not an intro song. The riff that starts about halfway into the song is fantastic. Like, even at the last song, they are still producing great riffs and having this kind of, wave of emotions wash over you, and I think it's a great way to end the album, definitely. So my overall thoughts on the album, You'll Be Fine. First off, I think the album art is beautiful. I haven't mentioned that. K-Dargs, that's her @ on Twitter, you probably know who she is. I'm a huge fan of her photography and her artwork, and she did the photography for this album. I think it is incredible. She's so talented, so I definitely have to say the album art, really drew me in when I first saw this. I think a lot of people were amazed to see it on Twitter when it first came out. It's a really impressive album for Hot Mulligan. I think it really shows their growth. And like I said throughout the video, you can hear influences of their old stuff. You can hear certain songs that sound like they should have been on Opportunities. There's bits and pieces that sound like very raw, like they came from that time, from 3 years ago. But there's so many new things that they tried on the record. I guess my only criticism and my only the downside for me about this album is that I think a lot of the instrumentation and riffs kind of sound similar, whereas for other albums, there was a lot more of a distinction between songs, and it was more choppy, and maybe that they're trying to work on that, because I'm really big on transitions in albums, and one of the things that kind of would always deter me from listening to a Hot Mulligan album track by track in the order it was listed is because every song sounded very different. You could tell it was the same artist, but it just sounded like it was very jumpy, and that was kind of their style, to be honest. I kind of accepted that. I still listen to them, I still am a big fan. But this album was different in that it kind of all went together, which isn't a bad thing, but I'm just not used to that for them. And I kind of have gotten used to that, which is what I realized when I was listening to this album. I was like, oh, my head is mixing up these riffs, when in reality they're different, but I'm just not used to it from this band. But I think that does show growth and maturity for them, and I'm super proud of them for this album, and I'm gonna keep listening to it. I'm hoping I'll be able to differentiate between songs more on this album as I keep listening to it. But those are kind of my initial, 1 month in thoughts on the album. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please comment down below letting me know what your thoughts are on Hot Mulligan's latest album, You'll Be Fine. I know it's gotten a lot of really great reviews overall, and I definitely think that's a super strong album and would love to hear your opinions on it. Other than that, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you guys liked it, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!